Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special review impressions of a knife loaned to me by Penchetta Pen Knife. It's an awesome online store and an actual physical store out in Scottsdale, Arizona. All right, today we're looking at the Poikilo Blade Orca. And I'm just saying it slowly because that's the actual name of the knife. It's the Poikilo Blade Orca. This was a knife that won the Blade Show West 2024 Best in Factory folder. Really, really cool knife. Brand new on the market at the time. Then in Blade Show Texas 2025, they won Best in Factory with their VK Zen folder as well. That was a Volix and Poikilo collab that they did on that knife. This is the Orca, which has some looks of an orca whale, if you can see that right there a little bit, right? And that's the kind of look that you have here. Beautiful, beautiful knife. I've reviewed quite a few Poikilo knives lately. I've had a chance to check them out. You saw that Poikilo Blade allowed me to check out 15 of their knives. With one of them that wasn't included was the Orca. I own a Gecko and I own a Taro. Love both of those. Have skiffs in there, tune them up beautifully. This is a really fantastic knife. Now, unfortunately, I can't buy this right now. I'm a little tapped on funds, if you will, but it's one of these knives that I would very much like to get into my collection at some point. So the name of the knife is the Orca. The knife manufacturer is Poikilo Blade. They're actually their own OEM, as far as I understand it right now. They have their own OEM services, own OEM company, so they do their own stuff. The designer on this one is a in-house Poikilo knife. It's part of their Bio series, which I discovered. I guess I knew I'd forgotten, but anyways, the materials on this knife: titanium handles, beautifully rounded, contoured handles. You can see that there's definitely a contour shape on there. Beautifully rounded and chamfered all the way around, which I think is really gorgeous. Wonderful flipper, jimping all the way out to the very edge, man. I'm telling you, that's exactly how I love to see it. I mean, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. I wish more people would do this because it's even here on this edge, so that if I come over here, I can actually get it on the side. So that's really nice. I love, love, love that. Wonderful back spacer, titanium. This is two pieces of titanium put together, fit beautifully together. No hardware on this side. You don't see anything. You see the screw here and screw here, and that's it. Now, is a fuller on here, and that fuller is usable. I mean, it's a little hard, but it's usable. It's a pretty stiff inset liner lock, which is, it's typically, I wouldn't have it this stiff. Now, people who have flippers love crispy, super crispy detent. So you're gonna love this. You're gonna think this detent is just phenomenally awesome, right? You're gonna love it. The blade here, if you didn't know, on these guys is M398 blade steel. M398 blade steel. That is a step up from M390. A higher edge retention, just a nicer knife altogether. Let's go ahead and wipe that blade down because we want to keep it nice and beautiful. This is a beautiful bead blasted, polished, bead blasted sort of satin kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's just really, really gorgeous. You see that on both sides. I think it's just stunningly beautiful, very reflective, almost fully mirror polished, but not quite. But still, it almost looks like a cross between a satin and a bead blasted and a polished. Because I see some lines that make me think there's some satin in there. And then it feels like it might be bead blasted, but then it's highly polished and super crazy sharp. So it's nice. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Has a fuller. I do like the fuller. It's functional. It can be a little slippery, so it's difficult to get, especially with the really crisp detent. This lock bar engagement, we're about 15%. Really solid in there. Steel bar insert that's in there, so you're engaging steel on the tang of the blade, which is cool. I don't know if you can see that. All that beautiful milling on the inside. A lot of weight relief. Can we see that over here? Now, you see there's weight relief there, but there's the inset liner lock, which is in itself some weight relief, right? Here's the clip. Clip is beautifully rounded, going to go in, has a nice flexibility. There is a screw here that's probably holding everything back here. You notice there is a little lanyard pin. It's not prioritized, but you know, the clip, you can get pretty deep carry, almost fully hidden, but not quite. This is a Persian blade because this does bow a little bit. It's not flat. It's not a flat back. So this is, I would consider this a Persian. You might argue with me on that point. Fair enough. Call it whatever you want. I'm going to say it has Persian tendencies, right? The handle with the swooping and everything like that, to me, just calls out Persian to me. It feels good in hand. It's thick enough that even though it's smaller here, it's thick enough, wide enough, and there's no sharp hot spots on here, by the way. which is really nice. So when you're gripping this, you're not getting any hot spots, which is really, really comfortable. I enjoy that. Being an inset liner lock works really great left and right-handed, right? So you can go ahead and do it over here as well in left hand. Now, I can't use the fuller in the left hand because it's too crisp of a detent. I can't get enough in there and then get it to deploy because it's just a little tight. Now, some people who like really, really crazy strong detent, you're gonna love this, right? And that's fair, that's fair. I would take a knife like this, I would put in skiffs, and I would tune that inset liner lock, make it just a little bit lighter, a little less strong, because right now it is really crisp. Now the action is beautiful when it drops. It is beautiful, you can see that. Just beautiful drop shut action, but it's not quite glidey close like I would like to see it, but it's nice. It is definitely nice. So that is cool. I love the finish. It's kind of a crown spine. Well, it is a crown spine, if you will. No sharp spot up here. There's jimping up here. So is that jimping functional? Let's see. Sort of, a little bit. Not enough for gloves. Definitely you have to really push hard. It gives you some traction. It's not super great, right? There's some traction back here. Definitely some traction if you're doing a push cut, right? Like cutting into leather, cardboard, plastic, whatever. Or if you're doing a pull cut, maybe you're doing a pull cut like that, you're cutting through it. Sometimes, you know, it is a flat grind. It almost goes up to a full flat, but it doesn't. You can see that right there. So it would come up here. It does come down to a nice edge. I will say that. So it's a nice, you know, it terminates really well down here. So I think that's really cool. We're looking at T8s. I think we're doing T8s. Let's just double check that real quick. I'm going to grab a T8 and a T10. Well, I have at least a T8. This is a T10. Let's see. Here's a T. Well, they're both T10s. Let's see. Is this a T10? T10 for the pivot. That's going to be a T8. Do I have a T8? Let me see. Do I have a T8? Here's a T8. Okay. Yeah, T8. So a T8 and a T10 for your two pivots. Your pivot and then your screw for your clip right here, which is nice and rounded. Really, really nice. I don't know if this is. I'm going to assume this is like Cerakoted or PVD. I don't think it's DLC. It doesn't look like DLC to me. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. It is really nice though. Really beautiful. So I think that's really outstanding. No choke up point. I will tell you that, even though you can come up to maybe to this point a little bit, but there's plenty of room, right? Now you do get a very sharp edge right here, and that does limit you. So if you're right on the edge, you're gonna have to either split it over, right? So if you got really big hands, you're gonna have to, if you're falling right here, you have to go outside or you have to choose to go inside. One of the two, right? It doesn't really allow you to be right on top because it's pretty, you know, which is nice though in one way, right? Because if you're doing really hard work, this is gonna stay in there. It's gonna be locked. You got a nice finger guard, got a nice back guard. It's not gonna slip in and out of your hand. So you've got, you know, good presentation on this knife. I think that's kind of cool. All right, it is inset liner lock. We have 20% engagement. We have titanium. We have mil titanium clip. It's definitely a mil titanium clip. I do notice that the screw does stick out just a little bit, which is kind of, I wish that was a little more inset maybe. I don't think it's loose or anything. I'm pretty sure that's not loose. No, it's in there pretty tight, but it does stick out a little bit. You see that? You know, you may, I mean, it's rounded, so it's not sharp, but you know, that's, I know some people may bother them a little bit, and I get that. I love the pivot here. It does have a nice aesthetic to it. It's nice flat. It's like a little satin finish there. You can see that spiral kind of machining on there. I love how some of the stuff comes together over here. I think it's really cool. It is not, there's no extra cutaway, but there is a chamfering on both sides right here. You can see that over here and here. So it does get in there pretty easy. The lock bar is stiff. I will tell you, even with big meaty hands like this is a stiff lock bar. It really is. I mean, this is a crisp detent. If you don't get a good presentation, get up there, boy, this thing is so crisp. You go back, you're gonna rip your skin. I mean, there's a few times I've slipped and it's been really uncomfortable. That's why, if this was my own knife, I'm not gonna touch it. This is a loaned knife from Penchetta Pen Knife. So this is one of their knives that they sell, and I'm just looking at it, and that's all we're doing. We're just handling it, get a feel for it. We're gonna put it right back in the box, send it right back to them, right? We're not doing anything with no cut test, nothing with this at all, right? This is just to look at and handle like if I was in the store. Very, very, very clear about that. I'm not carrying this. I'm not doing anything. I'm not cutting it. So I'm not sharpening. I'm not, nothing, right? This is just me getting a feel for it. I would never do that. It's, you know how it is. If you ever loan me a knife, I'm going to do the same thing with you guys. I am not going to hard use. I'm not going to use. I'm not, unless you tell me to cut with it or carry it. Even then, I kind of have a hard time doing that because it's your knife, and I just don't want to mess with people's knives, right? So, very, very cool knife, I think. I keep wanting to wipe my fingerprints off there because that finish on that blade is gorgeous, right? You can see that. And that really shows fingerprints. That's just beautiful. Very, very stunning. I think they did such a good job. I can see why I got Best in Factory. Beautifully dead nut centered, by the way. Right to the very tip. That's very sheer Gorf. I love how it comes to the very, very tip like that. I think that's really good. Really nice. Really nice. All right, so blade, we talked about that. We talked about how it opens. Let's do some measurements. Let's see how heavy this knife is. It feels like it might be about 4 ounces. I don't know. Maybe it's a little more. It's a big knife, so it might be a little more, maybe 4.5. I don't know. Let's see. 4.7 ounces, so it's a little heavier. 4.7 ounces, not super light, but not super heavy, right? It does feel like it's going to be a little bit longer of a knife. Let's measure the length of this knife. So we're dealing with a knife from, that is just 8 5/8 of an inch. So 8 5/8, so definitely over 8.5. The handle area, if you go from here to here, is 3 3/4. So 3 3/4, but it does bow down. So, I mean, if you were to, I mean, and I know it's not probably how most people would measure this, but just, you know, just for fun. Okay, I'm going to measure like from the 2. So 2, yeah, so it's like 4 inches if you were to go on the inside instead of the 3 3/4. So you get 4 inches if you look at the arc on the inside. So it's interesting. You know, I mean, take it for what it is, right? There's no choil, so I'm not going to measure that. From the tip of the blade to the back, you're looking at 3 and I want to say 9/16, 3 9/16 of an inch. And then if you look at the overall cutting length, you're looking at 3 7/8, 3 7/8. So much longer for the cutting length if this goes here. So just keep that in mind, right? Let's look at the overall blade stock thickness of this knife. Does it hold up? I don't know. We'll get the caliber out here. The Mitutoyo. All right, so let's see. How many inches are we dealing with here? 163 thousandths of an inch. So that's a pretty robust blade. Not a super thin blade. Just keep that in mind, right? We are dealing with a titanium. Yeah, titanium liner. It feels like it might be titanium screw there. Definitely titanium clip, titanium screw right there. Yeah, titanium there. All right, so the inset is titanium, but there's a steel bar inserts, that's for sure. Okay, very cool, very cool. All right, what is this knife? What's the category of something like this? Well, we are talking about $450 for a knife like this. And some of you guys are gonna be like, oh, that's ridiculous, that's blah, blah. You know, hey, you know what? That's fine. It's not for you, right? But I will tell you, my personal opinion. You can agree, we can agree to disagree. You can totally think I'm wrong. It's your call, right? I've handled a lot of Wii knives. Some of the Wiis with the super secret sauce, the really nice Wiis that when they charge $400 or $500 and they're worth it, right? I'm not even talking about with their Damasteel ones. Those are a little overpriced because I think they charge too much for the Damasteel. Just my personal opinion. But some of those are a little expensive, but some of the really good ones, I think that are $300, $400, $500. This is up there. Let me rephrase that. Wii's secret sauce best knives, Riot's best knife out there, best tech's best production, highest quality knives. If they were to step up to the next level, this is what it would be. Okay, I think Poikilo is the next level for Riot, for best tech. Especially, I think best tech and Riot are pretty neck and neck. I think we can get up there with their secret sauce special knives. You know, I always say that because Metal Complex calls it the secret sauce. I like that. It's kind of catchy, right? Because some of those knives, they're special. And I've owned quite a few of those, and I like them, right? This is a step up from that. It's still fantastic, but I mean, for $450, this is just, you know, you're like, it's Chinese. It shouldn't be that much. No, if you made this knife in the USA, this would be a $1,200 knife. I don't think you could get for this for less than $1,200. With this rounding, with this milling, with everything going on here, the hand, everything to get this polish on here, it would be like it'd be a $1,200 knife if this was a small batch made in machine. This is large machine, large production batch, you know, and so it's I will just say something like this in the USA would be a whole lot more. Okay, so it is cool. It's very cool. It is made in China. It is a Chinese OEM. So keep that in mind. If you're a USA only guy, or you don't like buying things coming out of China, it is from China. But I think it's one of the best Chinese OEMs out there, period. It definitely competes. The way I described it, I think at one point I said in another review or comment or something like that, let's say Knoll Knives did a partnership with Poikilo. It would take Knoll Knives to that next level. It would be ridiculous, right? Could you imagine Knoll Knives and Poikilo working together? That would be something phenomenal. I think that would be really, really cool. Something like that. Yeah, the action is beautiful. They do have cage bearings in there. Their OEM cage bearings are pretty good. They are really good. I don't know about this one, but I know on my Gecko and my Taro, the cage bearings were very good for an OEM cage bearings. Putting Skiffs on there, it's a step up. Is it necessary? No. But I would absolutely do it because this knife is worth putting a little extra custom secret sauce goodness of a Skiff cage bearing in there with. I think this will make this knife just that much more enjoyable. I think the action would be even more phenomenal. It's really good right now. Don't get me wrong. It's a really good action. It's a little, like I said, it's a little stiff on that detent. That flipper is good, but you got to get that right, man. You don't get your finger up there right. You don't get the right presentation. Ooh, it's a little uncomfortable, right? So just keep that in mind. And it is a shake shot. It's not a drop shot. This thing could easily be, I think, an absolute control drop shot. Like my Taro is like that. I love it. So really nice. Got a nice acoustic. You can hear that. Let's listen to that detent when it closes. You want to hear that? Let's get it close to the mic. Let's do that one more time. Ready? Nice and clickety, right? Nice clickety detent. Nice crisp actuation, opening, really nice. I think so. So this definitely puts this one into the higher end knife for what you're getting. At $450, it's definitely between $300 and $600. So I'd call this the higher end knife. The purpose, EDC hard use collection piece? Yeah, sure, all the above. This is absolutely can be a collection piece. For some people, it might be a safe queen. For some others, it be, carry and enjoy. Just be a nice church knife, nice wedding knife, nice date knife, I think. Could be hard use, absolutely, I think so. This inset liner lock looks really, really solid. It feels really solid, looks really well done. Looks very secure. There's no blade play. There's no pivot lash. There's no detent lash. Everything is really nice and solid in there. I think that's really great. So I think hard use would be no problem. EDC, absolutely, all day long. I love this going in and out of the pocket. It's really nice and smooth. Like I said, I'm not going to carry this knife, but I have seen how it goes over some cloth. So here, we could do that right here with one of these microfiber cloths, which is probably the best thing to try it on, right? So let's say this was a very thin pair of pants, but going in, try to do this correctly, goes in really well. And then coming out, really nice. I think it doesn't hold really tight. It rolls well on there. So I think that's really cool. All right. Ergos and feel, overall design, handles and opening. It is a very comfortable knife. It's a unique shape. It's not really within my repertoire typically, but I dig this. I dig this. I dig how it all comes together. I see the Orca theme. It's really nice. The handle, comfortable. Yeah. Open and closing is really nice. Nice access here. Again, I would tune this to be just a little bit nicer. It's just what I would do. It's not my knife, so I can't do that. I can't do that. This is me just checking out a lone knife. So, when I say that with a little bit of like, oh, what this knife could be. At least for me. May not be for everybody, but at least for me. And, a lot of people I think would enjoy that. But, if you like custom knives, you would enjoy it. Let's put it that way. That's how I like to tune my knives. I love touching this, by the way. It's so smooth. It's really, really, there's no line. It just feels really, really solid in here. And I just want to make sure my fingerprints are off of there, right? Because you get all greasy fingers on there. But you do that, you can just feel it. Oh, it's just really nice. Yeah. So, all right. Gimping. There's gimping here. There's gimping here. It works. It's not super great. The clip is really fantastic, and it does have a functional lanyard. So there you go. You get all the above. Overall feel, open and closing, it's nice. It's a crisp, if you like a flipper that's super crispy detent, it's nice. I would tune it down just a little bit because it's almost ready to rip my finger crisp. I mean, I think someone like Lefty EDC, he would say this is acceptable. He'd say this is a good detent. I call this a pretty strong detent. Lefty would say this is a good detent. When he says it's a good detent, it's usually too strong for me. I like it a little different, and then I could use the fuller. And then I think I would very easily be able to use the left-handed fuller as well, right? That would be a little nicer. And then you'd have more of a control drop shut as well. So that would be the other benefit. All right, overall feel, opening, closing, it's really good. It is really good. I do like it. I do like it. It's definitely one that after handling it, I would like to get in my collection at some point. Yeah, so for sure. So for sure. Let's do a couple of quick close-ups before we wrap it up and make our, whether we recommend it or not. But that's that beautiful, beautiful polished. I'm going to wipe it just because you guys got to see this. As the original blade, it's just simply stunning. It really is. Just don't want any of my fingerprints on there, right? So let's just get that beautiful. You see that right there? Look at that polish. I don't know if you can see it. It's like almost, yeah, there you go. You can kind of see the reflection up there. It is bead blasted. There's this hint of satin in there. It's like a satin polish. I don't know. Really cool. There's the Poikilo little logo. It looks like a little gecko, a little lizard. You got the Orca scales here with the two tones, two pieces together. I'm not taking this apart. I'm not showing you how it works. It's not my knife. I'm not doing it. Maybe if I get one of these eventually, I'll do that. Especially if I put skips in, right? So here's the clip back here. You can see that beautiful little ramp in and out. I like that. I hate the really sharp ramp going out because that cinches up against all your pocket and it starts to be a pocket shredder. And this is nice. This is nice going in and out. Now I get the reason why some people design it that way, especially if you got a big old super heavy knife and you're working really hard, like let's say you're doing construction or you're running around. I mean, I get it. But here, this is more of kind of a nicer knife you carry, maybe to church and stuff. You can see the screw sticking out a little bit. It's not quite as recessed as it maybe could have been. I think it could drop a little more, just my opinion. You can definitely see all the milling that they have done in there. It's really, really nice. Really nice job milling, I think. And then you can see over here, here's the inset liner lock. You can see that. And there's some milling back there as well. So I think that's pretty cool. And then you can see the engagement that we have right here. We're probably a good, I want to say 15, 20%, right? And then you can see the jimping that's on here. It actually comes all the way around here. You see that little jimping? It comes all the way around here like that. I think that's pretty cool, right? So that's nice. Rounded everywhere. I think that's really cool. And then we got the back here, we have the Bio series. And you see the M398 for the blade steel. Again, the fuller. Wish it was just a little crisper. I like the fact that it's not crisper. I mean, I know some people are enjoying that. Let's look at the blade stock thickness. You can see the blade stock thickness, and then you can see that beautiful crown spine right there. That's really nice, right? Does get a nice pokey tip for getting into dog food, cat food, fertilizer, mulch, all sorts of good stuff. I think that's kind of nice. All right, let's do our little money shot. Money shot for the video. Just kind of highlight that beautiful blade. I want to, again, I like to wipe it off because it's just such a beautiful finish on here. I mean, once you use it, you're going to get it dirty. You're going to get tape on there. You're going to, I mean, it's going to be, you know, unless you're making it a safe queen, right? But it's going to be kind of a cool little knife to have, to be able to use and kind of beat up and carry and just look nice at the same time. I like a knife that you can use and use well, but also looks nice. So that's always, I think this would fit that bill. So there you go. All right, so what do I think about as far as fidgety goodness? Fidget factor scale, sorry, fidget factor scale. You have the access to the lock bar it's good. It's just crisp. I would tune this. It would absolutely fix everything. The flipper is outstanding. The jimping on the flipper is phenomenal. This is how I wish every flipper would go. It's crisp. That's the only thing. I can't take advantage of the fuller with my left hand. The right hand, I can most of the time. It's still a little hard to get in there, but you can get in there, right? And I think left hand, once you tune it, it would be perfect. So I'm going to give the flippers really outstanding. That's automatically a solid 3. I'm going to give it a 4. I would like to give it a 5. I can't because it's not quite tuned for my left hand. If I get this and I buy this and I tune it, this could go up to a 5. I'll let you know once that happens, right? But I think it would be really phenomenal. Yeah, so I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I mean, 4 out of 10 as far as fidgety goodness, as it is right here like this. What do I think overall fidgety goodness out of this? I'm going to give it a 90. Right now, it's a 90. Again, I think when we tune it, even though I'd give it a 5 out of 10 from 4 out of 10, I think this could go up to a 98 to 100. I really do. This is beautiful. This is very adequate. It's easy to engage with that. It's just stiff, right? This is just a matter of tuning as far as I'm concerned. Now, some people are going to absolutely love this. They're going to think this is perfect for what they want, and I get it. Leave it like it is. And I think it's, you know, I get it. Maybe majority of you are. Maybe a few of you don't like to have that sort of super controlled drop shut like a custom knife. Maybe you're not a fan of that. That's fair. That's fair. I like it. I have it on my brown knives. I have it on my Edgar & Cole. I have it on my NCC knife. I have it on my Koenig, I have it on my Holt Blade Works. All of those seem to have that beautiful control drop shut. I like that. Now, if you're not a fan of that, you like it to be a shake shut, this is perfect. If you don't like that, I think this could be easily tuned. I know the Taro was tuned. My Gecko's getting there. I didn't tune that one. It was my first one, and I hadn't gone back to retune it. I kind of left it. It's kind of getting there by itself. The Taro, I tuned right up in the beginning, and it's perfect. So it does everything like I would like for it to do. And if this feels very similar, like once I tune this, it would be very, I would have the same success rate with it, because it feels similar to the Taro when I first got it, because my Taro was kind of crisp when I first got it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it's a good 90 right now. I think, take that with a grain of salt, I honestly think a little bit of tuning, make this my own knife, I could get this to a 5 out of 10, and this could be 100. Okay, so once I were to own this, and once I were to tune it, I'm just telling you, I still think it's great. It's a 4 out of 10 with a 90. It's definitely an A minus, but this could be a 5 out of 10 with an A plus. So is it recommended? I'm going to recommend this. I'm even going to say it's a favorite knife, because it's one I'd like to get into my collection. I just can't afford it right now. But it's definitely a favorite knife. I think it's really outstanding. I'm definitely going to be something that I would consider recommending getting into your collection. Maybe look into. I think you would enjoy this. That's my take on it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are on the knife. If you've handled it, how you enjoyed it, what you thought of it. I know some of you guys, I get it. If I left this like this would not be a really, see, to do that reverse flick, hold on. I got to get in there just right. And it's a little slippery, so you got to have the meat of your finger in there, put pressure into the groove, and then kind of catch the groove there. Once you do that, you got to just make sure you've got the right force going up on that, right? So it'd be better if it wasn't so smooth. If this had a little different finish on, a little different surface, it would be a little easier to do. That's what I'm saying. And I think with a lighter, see, it's really crisp. Can you hear that? Look at that. You see that? That's really crisp getting that out. That's a strong detent. If I fix that a little bit, I don't want a weak slushy detent, but if I just had it just a little bit less, where one, it didn't hurt my finger sometimes if I missed, and two, this right here wasn't so hard to disengage, because it's a strong lock bar in there. I will tell you that. It's one of those that I would definitely want to tune, because it's rough. It's rough, right? So now, again, if you love it, go for it. I'm just saying, that's why I think I'm going to make it a favorite. I'm recommending this 100%. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button down below. Subscribing and liking the channel and the videos really helps me out, allows me to produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you to everyone out there who watches the video, enjoys the content, is part of the community, part of the live streams, comments. Thank you. Thank you to every one of you guys out there. I do appreciate you so very much. Also, if you haven't already, maybe consider hitting that notification button down below as well, so you can be notified of future content like this and other videos. And a big shout out to my channel members. I appreciate you guys. You do two amazing things for me. You encourage me like a workout buddy. I enjoy doing this. You just remind me how much I enjoy it. So thank you for that. And the other thing is, because of your generous support of the channel, you allow me to do things sooner than I ever thought I could. For instance, I get to check out certain knives like this, and because companies like Penchetta Pen Knife and other awesome companies like Poikilo Knives, they've sent knives for me to check out. Thanks to you guys, helping me, allowing me to be able to look at knives, take care of them, return them to in a state that they, that's the same way they sent it to me, and just show my appreciation by also you guys checking stuff out. Thank you guys. Seriously, thank you. I appreciate that. You also help me, allow me to do once a week regular giveaways and check out other things, right? So thank you. Thank you. I want to do two things exclusively for you as a way for me to say thank you. One, I do a once a month members exclusive giveaway. Every month I like to find a knife, something a little nicer to give away to my members. That's a small way for me to say thank you, right? A little better than a budget banger, something nice. Try to go for something between $100 and $300 just to say thank you. The other thing I like to do is all brand new channel members, I'd love to mail you a channel sticker and a little thank you note. So if you became a brand new channel member recently, email me with your name and address. I'd love to mail you a channel sticker and a thank you note if you've not gotten one. The only condition I ask is that you're currently actively a member, and two, you've never asked or received a channel sticker, right? So if that's you, you're actively currently a channel member, you never asked or received a channel sticker, email me with your name and address. I'd love to mail you a channel sticker. That does typically is a majority of our brand new channel members, but could be a few of you who are members all along, or some of you who were members and lost your membership and then you got your membership back. If that fits any of you guys, email me, name and address. Love to mail you a channel sticker. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate you all. If you haven't already, check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.